Scholar and author Ibram X. Kendi is bringing classic stories from an acclaimed American writer to young readers. Kendi is adapting 6 stories from Zora Neale Hurston, best known for her 1937 novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. His first adaptation is a children's book titled Magnolia Flower. It's beautiful, beautiful illustrations. The story follows a young girl who is Black and Native American looking for love and freedom. Kendi's the founding director of the Boston University Center for Anti-Racist Research and a CBS News contributor. It's great to see you in person.
Hello.
Welcome back to New York.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So you, like me, are a girl dad. You got a 6-year-old at home.
Yes.
And you told us that this really was inspired by her. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I mean, I just have long admired the work of Zora Neale Hurston, and I didn't want my daughter to have to wait till she sort of came of age to have to read the stories that Zora wrote, the stories that she collected. I wanted her to have the opportunity to read a beautiful story like Magnolia Flower, like right now, even though she's 6 years old.
And you say that's part of your mission, is to try to bring these literary classics to younger readers faster, in essence. Why now, as opposed to waiting until they're older? What's so important about making sure they get exposed to this sooner?
Well, I think in particular, Zora Neale Hurston, wrote during a time in which it was difficult for people to have joy. It was, and her writings were so joyous. Her stories were filled with love, and I think particularly in this moment, to share love stories with children that also allow them to learn about history, I think is a beautiful thing.
Ibram, my son is 2. He is biracial, and I started reading books about race to him. But sometimes I worry that he'll eventually ask me a question I'm not sure how to answer. Did your daughter in this process, I know you shared early drafts with her, ask you a question that really impacted the storyline or surprised you?
She asked me, why haven't I read about this or heard about this sort of sooner, which I think only inspired me more to ensure that she's learning about this history. Because even Magnolia Flower, the Afro-Indigenous girl who is the main character, her parents, one was enslaved and one had to flee the Trail of Tears. And so it opened up the opportunity for us to learn about very critical moments in U.S. history.
You know, the story is beautiful in that it uses the imagery of it. It compares a river and a brook, right? And that's what she uses to tell this story. What would you say to people watching right now who may think that it's a little tough or hard, or they don't know how to teach young kids about race and racism? And what do you say to those who are like, you know what? I don't think we need to be doing that. Those who might push back on it.
Well, there are many things as parents that's tough for us to talk to our kids about. Like, for instance, stranger danger. Like, that's a very difficult conversation for us to have with our children, but it's important, right, for us to have those conversations, just like it's important for us to have conversations with our children about race and about history and about African-American folklore, like the stories that Zora collected.
This story is about a girl searching for love and freedom in the face of resistance. Why is that story so critical right now, particularly for children?
Because in many ways, this girl, Magnolia Flower, decided she was going to make a way out of no way. She was going to ensure that love was something that conquered all. And I just think in this moment, particularly where there's oftentimes hate sort of circling around us, we need love stories, and we need children who are conquering all through love.
We do. Well, look, Ibram X. Kendi, thank you. We really appreciate it. Like I said, gorgeous. Beautiful. Illustrated by, how do we pronounce her first name?
Lovis Wise.
Lovis Wise. It's on sale tomorrow. Go check it out.